It is your beauty industry coach, Stylist Noel, and I'm super excited to be right back here with you guys again on this thankful Thursday. So, I hope everybody's had a great week. Let me just start by saying that. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Not only am I here, let me make sure you guys don't see that light on my face. Not only am I here for, there we go. Not only am I coming on here to give you guys like tutorials, education, but also some information about the industry when it comes down to just business as a whole, when it comes down to pivoting and things you should do and how to actually start changing from a brick and mortar business to click and order. So we're going to be talking about how to prioritize business mindset, optimize with their skill set, and monetize with digital assets. I see I'm going to have to take these glasses on and off because that light is on there. But I just want to say again, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is your beauty industry coach, Stylist Noel. For those of you that don't know me, I've been in the beauty industry, licensed master cosmetologist for over 23 years, licensed cosmetology instructor, along with the educators and training instructors. So if you are a cosmetologist who's interested in actually becoming an educator, I'm the educator's instructor. So I'm your educator's educator. So the teacher that you had, yeah, that's me. I'm the one that actually teaches as well. So I've been doing this thing for a very long time. I eat, sleep, breathe hair. I've been doing it since I jumped off the porch, and I love this industry. But one thing about our industry, I can honestly say, is that it has changed tremendously. And if we're not prepared for the changes that's happening in our industry, then guess what? We're going to be left behind. We're going to be struggling going back to a 9 to 5. And I can tell you about that as well. That's going to be on another day, because I also recently, about 6 months ago, left corporate America, because when you've been an entrepreneur for so long, and then, yes, I'm not saying not to go back and get a job, but I just want you to know that it's always better for you to work for yourself, but you work for yourself just as hard as you work for that company. Now, when you're an entrepreneur, you know that we're going to work twice as hard. But when I tell you it's so worth it, I'm just going to say, you may not have as much freedom in the beginning, but you will get there. But corporate Americans can truly be tricky if you've always been an entrepreneur. And I'm just going to say next episode. But welcome. It is episode number 2. And tonight we are talking about a juicy topic. And it's a juicy topic because it touches home for me, because I'm originally from a small town called Panama City, Florida. For those of you that are familiar with the spring break city, I am from a small town called Panama City Beach. And as it comes down to Panama City Beach, I'm just going to say it's a very small town. And tonight's topic is what small town stylists should know in 2025. One thing I can tell you about living in a small town, I was a small town hairstylist back in 2000, and I was licensed in 2002. So back in 2002, I'm just going to say that in that era, when clientele was different, when client loyalty was client loyalty, there wasn't, chair hopping as much. Not only that, but people were actually paying to get their hair done. But now times have changed. But even in those times, it was hard. So I come from a small town, and I understand what happens in a small town when you are a hairstylist, especially if you're a good hairstylist. I understand what happens. I understand the challenges that you face. And we're going to actually address some of those challenges tonight. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you should be positioning yourself and some things that you should be doing. Because one thing I can honestly say is when you're a small town hairstylist, they start off, one way in one season, and they show you a whole lot of love. You have the capacity to bring in friends, sometimes family, and people continue to refer you. Word of mouth is huge in a small town. But I got some things I want to share with you, because these are some problems as a small town stylist that we face, and we probably don't even pay attention to. But I want to start off with the very first one. And the very first one, if you are a small time stylist, I'm talking to salon owners. I'm talking to booth renters, for sure, commission based, along with your salon suites, if they even have a salon suite. I'm just going to say some are so small you don't even have salon suite. But though your guys are the ones I'm talking to, and of course your hourly. But when you're ready to really be an entrepreneur, this is going to be good for you to actually take note and really, pay attention to what I'm saying. So the very first thing I want to say is, when you are a small town stylist, everybody, I'm just going to say from your family, if you're good, they know you, they love your work. You have a tendency to attract people that, you have a tendency to attract people that you really don't even want them to be your clients. Follow along with me. I need you to stay right here with me. You have a tendency to attract people that just because of the work that you do a good job and they love you, you can attract the wrong type of clientele. And you'll say, you know what? I really don't, this isn't working because you have attracted people that really want to be your friend. And the first thing I want to talk about is you do not mix business with pleasure. Relationships, friendships. When you're a small town stylist, you have a tendency to start being your clients' friends. And your clients want to hang out with you. When they're hanging out with you, they start wanting this thing called a discount. Y'all know what that is? When you're in a small town, they do it in the city too, and I'm in Atlanta, but I just want to say, when you're in a small town, everybody kind of wants a discount. Now, mind you, they pay for everything else. They want to have on the latest and the greatest, but they want a discount. And one thing I can tell you is they will come in the salon late. They start coming late. They stop respecting your time. Why? Because you've let them in your personal space. When you start letting them in your personal space, they think they know a little bit more than what they know, but you got to be very careful with that because this is a business that you're running. You are a professional. When you're running your business, I need you to treat it like a business. That means if you say your hours is going to be from 8:30 to 6 o'clock, you make sure you're there 8:30 to 6 o'clock. It's time for you to start reinventing yourself in that small town. Because, see, if you're not respecting your business, how can anybody else respect it? If you're acting like your clients, then how can your clients respect you? You're going to have to show up, dress like a professional. That's another thing. Make sure that you dress like a professional. And this is all still just tip number one. Dress like a professional. Don't come in there with those bonnets on and those Crocs on unless you're using it for back support. But don't come in there looking like an individual that should not be getting paid any extra money. Even though we know that doesn't mean you shouldn't get paid any extra money, but I'm just going to say, show up as a professional. It is 2025 and it's time to do business like that. But do not mix business with pleasure because it's already difficult to get them to try to pay you what you are worth because their mindset. And we're going to talk about the mindset because a lot of them have never left the city. And I'm talking about them and my family there right now. So if y'all watching, y'all know about when we have these conversations, I talk about these things. Some of them don't like the tip, but it's a mindset. A lot of them haven't gone any further than being in that city. They'll take a trip, they'll take a cruise, they may go to the next town over, but they really haven't put themselves in an environment where iron sharpens iron, where they're actually motivated, where they're inspired, where they desire better for themselves. They've really been on those jobs forever. They don't do anything but the norm. Go to work, church, and home. They go to work, they go to church, and they're home. And these are your clients. So you got to think about, if these are my clients, then how in the world am I going to build a sustainable business, especially over the next couple of years, if these are my clients? So for number one, do not mix business with pleasure. Those are your clients. You're going to treat them like clients. We're going to start coming to work on time. We're going to start looking like a professional. For those of you that don't dress yourself up, I'm going to say make sure that you start dressing yourself up. Very good. It said mindset is everything. Fear of the unknown. It's a known fact. A lot of them are afraid. And one thing I can honestly say is when I was there, I started out with some of my best friends was my best clients. They always came. It was super fun at first. But when I went and opened my own salon, can I tell you that the friends that I had were going to other stylists, paying them what they were worth versus coming to get their hair done by me? But I'm grateful for that because at the end of the day, I'm like, God, weed all those out. I just read a post before I came on here. I just read a quote that said, just because, charging cheaper prices will bring you worse clients. So when you charge lower prices, you get the worst clients. So sometimes you need to increase your prices. And that is number two. What small town stylists should know and what you need to do is increase your prices. Stop being afraid to increase your prices. I cannot tell you how many times I've talked to stylists that say, I don't know how to increase my prices. I'm scared if I increase my prices that my clients are not going to come. I hear this over and over again. It is time to increase your prices. First of all, I need you to think about nobody gives you a raise. And I have never had a client sit in my chair and say, hey, you know what, Celeste, you should charge me a little bit more. Girl, you did so good. I think you need to charge me more. I've never had it happen to this day. And I've been doing this for an exceptionally long period of time. So it's not going to happen. So you got to be intentional about increasing your prices. You know what you're worth. You know that you cannot continue to charge the same prices. Let me give you an example. First of all, when you're in a small town, I just had someone say, you know what, how much do you charge? I'm going to say for a quick weave. Now, we know a quick weave I'm going to say it's a luxury service. Why? Because it is one of those services you can do it in a protective style. They get an opportunity to If their hair is long, you can perform a short look on them. If they have short hair, you can give them a long, medium, short. You have so much style versatility. It is a luxury style. It is something that a client that comes in that wants change, they may want a quick weave. And she said, I asked her, how much are you charging for your quick weave? She said, I really don't want to tell you. I knew when she said she really didn't want to tell me that it had to be low. I said, no, go ahead. I need you to tell me. How much do you charge for quick weave? She said, $75. $75 for a quick weave is unacceptable. We will not be doing that in 2025. $75, they pay more than that for the hair that they're using in their head. So when it comes down to charging for a quick weave, I want to break it down for you. First of all, you got to shampoo the hair, condition the hair. You got to do a foundation. You're going to put your protective foundation on top of that. And then you got to be able to strategize on how you are laying that hair. So when you're strategizing, you got to lay the hair in a certain pattern by your skill set. This is something that you got to know how to do. So now you're laying this hair a certain way, and then you got to go back and cut it and style it. Come on. $75, you should at least be charging $150 for a quick weave. Some people think that's a lot, but it is not. But can I tell you that if you're afraid to tell those clients that how much you charge, they're not going to pay you? And this is one thing I used to do now. I know some of y'all can relate to this. I say, okay, today I'm going to go ahead and let her know. Today, her hair is going to be $150. And I used to charge $85 for my quick weave. I told myself it's going to charge her $150. Do you know when she get in the chair and she says, how much I owe you? I would say, I'll be right back. And I would go to the bathroom. And when I would go to the bathroom, do you know? I would come back out and tell the lady the same price, $85. Because fear sat in that short period of time because I was afraid of the unknown. I'm telling her a different price than what I originally said I was going to charge. I was so solid on that 180. I'm like, I'm going to charge her $180. She won't. And this is when you're using those Marcel stoves, those curling irons, you freeze spraying, you doing hair. And I was like, I'm about to charge her. But it was something that prevented me. And that something was fear. But you could not pay me to be her anymore. That person no longer exists. And I want to employ you to now be confident in what you do, be confident in your prices. And this is why we got to raise our prices. And let me give you a quick tip with raising prices. Raising pricing, since everything is super cute now, we just want to be in our, everybody wants to do everything that's cute. Let me give you a cute execution strategy. You're going to get you some cute flyers. Put them together. You can have a customer's appreciation day in your salon suite, where you literally can do some mocktails. If you do cocktails, whatever you want to do, have your little bit of finger foods, and you're pretty much preparing your clients, and you tell them to bring a friend. And that is when you're going to introduce your clients, that you're pretty much letting them know how much you appreciate them. You're having a small gathering, letting clients meet each other. You do something that others are not doing. That's not going to cost you too much money. Mocktails, that's going to be some juice and some fruit, cheese, crackers, and we love conversation. Even if you have a little conversation piece where you can literally have conversation with your clients, meaning what are their hair goals. You can make it really extremely fun at a low price. If you're that afraid, have some friends put it together, get you some cheap balloons. And I'm saying cheap because at the end of the day, do something cute and decorative. I don't know. And you don't even have to do that. But the ultimate goal is telling them I appreciate your business. Thank you for being a customer of mine. Thank you for bringing new potential clients. However, I do want to let you guys know, and you introduce them to Stylist Studios. We now have a new direction that we're going in, and this is our new direction. You can give them, give them the QR code, let them scan it, and they need to see the new prices. These are the changes that we've made to our prices. These are the new services that we're offering. This is the new time. And now you're going to, again, have to show up just like what you're representing. So you're going to pretty much tell them what you're going to do what you say you're going to do, and now start showing up like that. Now, don't put your foot in your mouth if you're going to be the individual that's not going to really execute that way. And I'm saying that because I know sometimes we can be lazy as stylists, and we trying to make the donuts. Oh, I got to do this. And we just handle things in that manner. But it's time to revamp your business and think about, how are you showing up as a professional? If I increase my prices, am I presenting my business as in a way that people actually would want to pay? Is my salon clean? Does it smell good? Do you have some incense, some candles lit? What about your salon is giving that aroma that I want to come in here and spend some money? So evaluate yourself. If you know you got a bad attitude, you know that you're always you're late, you get snappy with your clients, The way this economy is, I'm just being honest. We cannot afford to continue to lack professionalism, treat our customers as if we don't need them, because remember, we trade time for money. And the only time we eat when we're trading time for money is when Miss Gertrude sit in this chair. Okay? So when she sits in the chair, that's how we get paid after we perform the service. So make sure that you are being professional, because if not, don't nobody want to pay for that. I'm just going to say I don't. So number one was, do not mix business with pleasure. Number two is, we are going to increase our prices. Number three is, this is probably my favorite one. This is something I started doing when I was living in a small town. This is something that you have to do, because so many times, again, when I talked about that mindset, what you have to do is you're going to have to start connecting yourself with like-minded individuals. You're going to have to go outside your comfort zone. It's as much as I hate to say it, but sometimes as a African, I'm just gonna say, as a black woman and being, sorry about that, as a black woman and being a hairstylist, one thing I've come to realize is that as a hairstylist, we got to understand that we do hair and not ethnicity. Let me say that a little bit louder. We do hair and not ethnicity. A lot of times we're missing out on blessings because we're so limited in the services that we offer. So one thing, again, like I said, you're going to have to start linking up with like-minded individuals, because if you're talking to your Caucasian counterparts, those individuals, other stylists who are truly building big brands in the community, because sometimes when you go to a salon, I'm just going to say the area that I'm from, when I think about the biggest salon there, and I need you to do the same thing. Think about the biggest salon in the small town that you may be from, to my small town stylist. I know the salon that I automatically think about is a salon in Panama City, and it's called Paradigm. And one of my great friends, she owns it, and she happens to be a Caucasian stylist. Been doing business different. They come from a different background. However, B2B. She actually, when I was living there, would call me, "Hey, do you do sew-ins? Hey, I got a client for you. Hey, do you do hair fusion? Do you do the keratin smoothing system? They use the Brazilian blowout." We were doing business to business. She was sending me clients. On top of, I started going to the Chamber of Commerce. I was looking like a deer in headlights, didn't know why I was going, but God brought this lady into my life. Her name is Miss Tina Skiba. Shout out to Miss Tina wherever you are. Miss Tina was in the process of actually starting a casino on the water in Miami. And she came to my salon one day she was in the area trying to sell me some trying to actually talk to me about starting an IRA account, starting investing in stock. And I was like, had never been introduced to it. We had a conversation. She introduced me to this group called WOMTech, and it stood for Women on a Mission to Earn a Commission. WOMTech is the name of it. I started hanging out with Miss Tina. I met some of the most professional women. My whole entire clientele shifted. And I'm not just telling you this. It shifted. I almost felt like I didn't even deserve these clients, because they were totally different than what I've ever experienced. I was just like, okay, I'm around all these, Caucasian women. We went on a boat, her and her husband. Now I'm telling you this because at the time we were on boats now. We went on a boat and we went out to this place called Bay Point. And it was so beautiful. And I remember just looking at it and being like, Lord, like, this isn't what I like. This isn't what my life looked like. It was new for me. But I knew in that moment I had connected with the right person. Since then, I still have that same IRA account. I invested in a diversified portfolio just because of her. And let me just tell you this, I was able to pay off my car when I moved to Atlanta. And I knew that lady for like 2 years. When I moved to Atlanta, I was able to pay off the car that I had at that time on the funding situation that she had set up for me when I moved. So it's important to get around like-minded people, places that make you uncomfortable. Like I said, I started going to the Chamber of Commerce, doing business to business, started looking up what other events are going on. I was going to anywhere, any place where people I did not know. My clientele shift. When it did a shift, let me tell you, my salon was near a military Air Force base. I had Ratchet City on one side, military clients on the other. What did that look like? My clients that still wanted to come, that literally was, you already know, my cousin, them, they would come, but they're going to come and give you just what you asked for. If you told them that it was $85 for that quick weave, here you go, cuz, I'll see you later, 85. I started to attract the military clients. They were coming like clockwork. This is when I really got introduced to, hey, they rescheduling. Okay. So you want to reschedule? I got you. Rescheduling, making more appointments. I'll be back next week. Short haircuts, long haircuts. That's when I had to start taking classes because I had people that are coming in that I've never had these services before. And most of these girls were moving here from Detroit. A lot of them were moving from places like Chicago. And you know, those are cities that's like was the hair capital back in the day. For those of you that's familiar with the beauty industry and know about Cool C and Colors and what was the other Big Bad D. For those of you, y'all know who I'm talking about. That is when we were in the hair show, and the hair show was definitely jumping here in Atlanta, Bronner Brothers show. But back in those times, those women that were coming they had some good hairstyles. So that made me do what I had with my number 4. For number 4, I said you need to be prepared for new clients. Now, this right here is this right here, and I'm not just saying it. This is definitely a guide idea. You got to start preparing for new clients. What does preparing for new clients mean? Preparing for new clients is people. We are in a season in our life where funds are people. Let me just start with fun. People don't know what to do. I just saw something where they said people are starting to rent U-Hauls and live outside of a U-Haul, meaning U-Haul $19.99 a day. People are renting the U-Hauls to move out of their place, and they're keeping the U-Haul for weeks and weeks at a time. So much that U-Haul don't even have enough U-Hauls. They're having to force them to bring them back. So that's $19 a day. Smaller towns, some of the rent is a lot lower. Just talked with one of my cousins the other day, and she said, I'm thinking about moving to this small city outside. She said they got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $800 a month. Now, you know that's a steal. Where are they doing that at? She said, I think I'm going to have to, even though it's the country, but I'm going to have to. So what does that look like? People are going to be relocating a lot to go to places where the cost of living isn't as expensive. These people are going to be traveling, and they're going to be looking for new stylists. People are trying to figure things out right now. But one thing we do know is we're going to get our hair done. They're going to find the money from somewhere to get their hair done. So people are going to start moving, going places, just trying to look for places to live. And you got to be ready. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Have your cards, your QR codes, so you can start networking and seeing people out, giving them to your clients so that they can start bringing more business, especially because guess what? We got to start increasing our income so that we can actually not only be able to pay bills, but be in position to start investing. So we can start investing in our long-term. You understand what I'm saying? Because we cannot just continue to do things the same way. So people are starting to wake up. They're starting to make decisions out of their emotions. And all they know is we got to go. We got to figure this out because this is not working. And when they got to figure that out, they're coming and they're looking for you. But if you're not ready, then guess what? Somebody else gets that client. So there it goes again. If you tell them you're going to be there and on your door it says 8:30, on your booking site it says you come and work at 8:30, be there at 8:30. And I don't care that you don't have no clients at 8:30. And I'm just going to be honest with you. This is from your beauty coach to you. I don't care that nobody's there. You get there and create some content. Show them how to clean up the salon. Sweep your salon and say, I'm still here because I'm trusting God that somebody about to come in the door. This is the opportunity to create you some content. Ring light, camera, lights, camera, action, go on. Stop being so afraid to show yourself. If they putting all this stupid stuff on social media, why won't you go live? Why won't you create the content? Clean up. Show them that you're cleaning up. Sanitize. Show them that you keep the place sanitized. Spray. Let them know that you got some air freshener. Have some masks. Whatever it is, be creative. Create you some content because you never know who you're missing out on because you're not there because you don't have a client. I used to be that way. I don't have a client today, girl. You want to go get something to eat? We was going out to eat like crazy, missing out on customers. And then I had a client say, I started to come by here the other day because I started to come by here the other day and see if you could curl my hair for me. She said, but you wasn't even here. And guess what? It was a time when I should have been there. So I can't even tell you how much business I missed out on just because I was not in position. It is your business. Treat it like a business. Respect it like a business, and others will do the same. In this season, I'm just going to say, you can't do nothing better than trust God. When you are building a business, we operate from a different faith. Stop looking at what you see tangible. And that's what faith is the substance of a thing hoped for, evidence of things not seen. You never know what's going to happen. All you know is what you actually see that's happening, but you never know. Your life could change instantly. God could bring the right person into your life instantly, a new client, whatever it may be, instantly. So you cannot continue to think about things that's happening only because you see it. And that's how fear comes in. But sometimes your faith is being tested to see, yet and still will I trust you. Yet and still will I trust you, because even though I may not have it right now, I'm not going to start talking against. I'm still going to say thank you, because I know it's coming. And I know that God can do all things. So I just want to implore you to say that just because it looks like it's not working out for you, that is a time for you to draw closer to God. So make sure, again, like I said, that you are connecting with like-minded individuals. And this is my last one. The best way for you to connect with like-minded individuals as well is you're going to need to start getting you some additional education. People that invest in their success, they think different. They're willing to sacrifice their time of going out, spending money, going out eating, spending money, traveling, doing all those things that they normally do. They're willing to sacrifice the fun things so they can do the things now that others won't be able to do later. So in this season, this isn't a time for you to just be crazy spending money, doing whatever you want to do. You need to invest in what you do not know. I just took a class here recently, and he was talking about the more you learn, the more you can earn. You don't know what you don't know, and get out of your own way of thinking that you know everything. And I don't think that you may think you know everything, but there's so much that you do not know. And you only can get exposed to these things when you are around a certain group of people that are genuinely doing things that you've never even thought about doing. So we're praying in one season, asking God to open doors for me, Lord. Lord, I just need you to do this. What are we doing about that? What are you doing different that you do every single day to really put yourself in a position to be around people that you're not comfortable with, people that you may not know? Talk a different type of, have a conversation where you really are a student. It's my teacher and student season, meaning I am craving to be in a room full of individuals that literally make me sit back, close my mouth, and take notes. Why? Because where you're at, I'm trying to get, especially when it comes to a financial perspective. You're where I desire to get, and I need to teach my audience and the people that God has connected me to how to do the same. So while I'm telling you to make sure that you are getting more education, I'm talking about this hands-on training classes to learn how to do some different new styles and things like that, because I just told you, you got to be prepared for new clients that's coming. So some of the new clients that's coming are going to want services that you may not even offer right now. Example, if you non-surgical hair replacement, a lot of women are dealing with hair loss. Some women are wanting to do things like shortcuts. A lot of stylists struggle with shortcuts. A lot of stylists also struggle with sewing in hair extensions, period, whether it's fusion, micro links, tape-ins, eye tips. A lot of stylists don't know how to do a lot of hair color. Invest in your success. Don't be in the beauty industry and graduate from the beauty school, get you a salon, and that's it. Come on, we are in an ever-changing industry that's super fun. Make it exciting for you all over again. I hate that they canceled the Bronner Brothers show because I was going to show up. And be super excited. But I just really want to let you guys know we're in a fun industry. Make it fun. You may not have a team right now. You may not have people right now around you like other stylists, but find them. Events are always going on. Things are always happening, and you got to get yourself involved, or you're gonna feel like you're gonna feel burnout, and next thing you know, you're gonna feel like, you know what? I think I want to be a correction officer. I think I'm gonna go work in the daycare. I think I'm gonna do some CNA work. Am I talking to somebody? I'm certain that I am. I'm certain that I am. So let me just say this to you again. Make sure that you invest in yourself. If you're not willing to invest, nobody else is. There's so many opportunities for us in the beauty industry. And as a small town hairstylist, people need to know who you are. Some of the best talent is in a small town. I'm telling you, some of the best talent come out of a small town, but no one will ever know because you either hide or you're so comfortable with being. It's almost like, that rapper that y'all got that's in your town. They have that one rapper guy who is he the most famous person. He is on every scene, and he didn't make it past the county, honey. And everybody knows him. You don't want to be just known in your area. You want to truly love what it is that you do and show up in a way that demonstrates you love what you do. So just to quickly go back over these things, go back over what small town stylists should know in 2025. Number one, it is important for you to separate your business from your relationship. Tell your mama and them you charge her. Somebody said, you charge your mama? What they say and do. And if she on here watching, she loves to pay me because she said, baby, I understand this is your business. And I'm not saying that you got to just charge her if she don't have the money. But let me just say this. Sometimes I say, mama, just bless me. It's our business. And it's how and if they don't have it, I just want to gift it to her, then of course I'm going to do that. But it's your business. It's how you live. It's how you eat. It's how you feed your children. It's how you take care of yourself. It is your livelihood. And you cannot give services away for free. It is your time that you are investing. It is the education that you've gone to get. It is the products that you're using. All of those things that you're doing, it is just the investment that you already invested in for a return. You've sown, so now you need to reap. And you need to be mindful of how you reap. Number 2, increase your prices. Make sure that you go up. We are going to have you an event. And if you don't know how to put that event on, I'm just going to say, reach out to me in the comments. Reach out to me, and I can actually put those steps down below. I'll put the steps, as a matter of fact, in the show notes after it's over. But increase your prices. You cannot continue to charge those same prices, because at the end of the day, your products have gone up. They're not the same. You're going to invest in some education. That means prices are going to go up. And when the gas go up, they don't stop driving. When gas prices increase, they don't stop driving. And the client is never going to tell you you should go up. Some of you have been charging the same prices since you can't even remember. And I know I'm hitting home when it comes down to that, because I've dealt with it I've dealt with it so many times. All right, the third one was start connecting with your like-minded professionals, business to business. Make sure you're doing things like that, going to your chambers of commerce. I don't even care if they have a Mary Kay event. Get in the room with some people that are trying to build businesses and move forward, that don't know about you. There are the clients that are willing to pay your higher prices. I'm just telling you, these are things that I'm just going to say I bet you on it, because I've done it and it works. I don't care that it's 2025. We still serve the same God at the same time. It's all about conversation, how you show up, and connection. People need to know, like, and trust you. Just being on social media saying hi is not enough. I'm coming on here because you guys may get an opportunity to see my videos, but you don't get an opportunity to see me in this realm. So I'm excited to connect with you now on a more personal level, and we're just getting started. Can't wait to see this in the next year or so. So we're just getting started. You got to give people an opportunity to feel you, to actually see what's going on. What type of person do we do we vibe like that? You get what I'm saying? And the very last one is invest in some education. Invest in some education. I'm currently having classes right now in Atlanta. I'm having sewing classes, quick weave, hair cutting class, micro length, eye tape, eye tip, all of those things. If you're a cosmetology instructor and you're about to take state board, if you are a cosmetology professional, need to take state board, all things beauty, you can reach out to me, and I'm just going to let you know. It is Celeste Noel collab at Gmail. All that information is right here on the channel. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe it. Send this to your girlfriend who in the country who's doing them same French rolls and finger waves, and you know that you need to step it up and invest in some classes. Send this to those individuals that you know has been doing the same thing she's complaining about. She probably need to quit. She don't know if she want to do this. Send this to them, because it is time to make some changes. Do not be in an industry that can change our lives and not be trying to fight to change our lives. It is your beauty industry coach, Celeste Noel. I will be back here every single Thursday night at 9 o'clock. It says 8:45, but I'll be here at 9 o'clock on Thursday nights. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I look forward to seeing you guys over the TOP. God bless you and have a great night.